road to WrestleMania, let's face it, sometimes this journey is actually better than the show of shows, because you can get super pumped, and you sit down with WrestleMania, and you're like, well, I had a good time, but I wouldn't say it was great. Now, I do not think this is going to happen in 2025, and if you look what we could have on paper, this could be an absolutely riveting WrestleMania, and given that there are a bunch of stories looking us in the face, let us be massive nerds and let us be massive geeks, and I shall be Simon Miller. Let's try and figure out what WWE is going to do on this concrete road to WrestleMania. Number 10, Naomi is the attacker of Jade Cargill. That's right. Now, first and foremost, Naomi and Bianca Belair are the worst investigators on the planet. Like, Naomi will have a free pass if it turns out she was responsible for attacking Jade. But as for Bianca, what are you doing, man? You're barely looking. I really do think Naomi should be the guilty party too, because it's just so easy. Not only did Jade Cargill throw her out of the 2024 Royal Rumble, but doing this allowed Naomi to become a tag team champion. And if we look at it behind the curtain, Naomi has been a forever babyface. Let's turn her heel and see what she can do. I mean, we really don't know what the babyface run will be like, because again, we haven't seen it, and this opens loads of doors. You can do Bianca versus Naomi at WrestleMania, and of course, Jade Cargill can get involved too. Even if she just comes out halfway through the match, she'll get a big pop. Welcome to wrestling. So I would definitely do that for sure, and I assume WWE feels the same. I mean, if not, I don't know what I'm talking about. Number 9, Roman Reigns challenges Seth Rollins. Now, I think CM Punk is going to get involved in this too, but we shall get into that later, because I am talking about a very specific thing here, and it's basically the words that just came out of my mouth, in that order. Because given that it was Seth Rollins that took his foot and splattered Roman Reigns' brain across the floor at the Royal Rumble, when it is time for our tribal chief to return, it should be he that gets a microphone and be like, man, I can't believe you did that to me, you fool. I'm coming for your ass. Or words that make him sound more like Roman Reigns. And there would be nothing wrong if it was Rollins that put out this challenge, but I just think you want to reverse it, because it would make this a little bit different. Usually it is wrestlers going, Roman Reigns, I am going to beat you, but given their history and the sheer hate that Roman has for his former Shield brother, well, to tie into that story, he should be like, I'm now going to kill you on the biggest stage possible. You also have the benefit of 2025 being the first year in ages where Roman is a babyface, so he can step into these shoes. And just by that very nature, everything will feel a little bit fresh. It's also a mega match no matter how you spin it, and absolutely it could main event night 1 of WrestleMania. I know it would be weird because a championship isn't up for grabs, but you have seen how WWE looks at the head of the table. They're basically in love with him. And he's headlined like 10 WrestleManias. I think I may be exaggerating, but do I think that streak is going to end anytime soon? No. No, I don't. Number 8, Io Sky somehow has a championship match at WrestleMania. Now, this one is going to be very hard because, of course, as of me talking to you, Io Sky is not in the Elimination Chamber because Rhea Ripley walked out and got mad at Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. That caused a disqualification, and now Io likes to go up to Rhea and be like, well, you big ball of idiot, you ruined it for me. Now, clearly Rhea got very upset about this because then on the subsequent Raw, she said, I didn't mean to do this. And now they're having a championship match on the Raw after the Elimination Chamber. Listen, it does make sense, but at the same time, if I was in that damn chamber, I'd be like, why do I have to get thrown into steel where flippin' Io Sky is getting a free ride? Now, of course, it doesn't seem that way, but I have decided that somehow, I don't know how this is going to work, Liv Morgan is going to win the Elimination Chamber, then there's going to be shenanigans in that Rhea Ripley, Io Sky match due to everything we did just talk about, when WWE, probably Adam Pearce, has to be like, oh, hi, now you've gone and done it, Mr. Burns has won it, and you three are now going to compete to WrestleMania 41 for that title. And I know there's a bunch of rumors saying there's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, which I do not mind at all, but I've already put Bianca in a match, so I can't be that guy. And now, yes, I totally get it. People are like, man, I just want the singles match, and I'd be one of you. But if you do Io versus Rhea, you are doing babyface versus babyface, and at WrestleMania, that's going to be tough. Liv Morgan is the ultimate heel, and also she had a brilliant 2024, so if you want to become a generic fan, there's 3 simple words: she deserves it. It also means coming out of WrestleMania, you can probably then go right into the Io Sky Rhea Ripley feud properly, and you do need to make sure you have some cards up your sleeve, otherwise there'd be no wrestling TV. And trust me, that's never going to happen. It will outlive us all. Number 7, John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. Or it could be CM Punk. If I'd done this video a few days ago, I would have doubled down on John Cena. I don't know, man. Something is making me raise an eyebrow. I just think the more likely route is going to be Big Match John. I mean, his face is on the poster. And of course, this can lead us to John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. And I tell you why that's better than CM Punk, because of the 17th world title record. I just love the idea of Cena going for this and then failing to beat Cody, because how the hell do the fans respond to that? Are they like, man, John, you tried and you gave it your best shot? Or are they like, damn you, American Nightmare, you took our dreams away from us? The irony. Now, of course, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes is absolutely a WrestleMania main event too. But again, I'm going to come to CM Punk in just a few entries' time. So I think John Cena will win this Elimination Chamber. He will challenge Cody. And then, my gosh, all our pants are going to fly off in anticipation. I also just think if WWE now does understand they're not going to have The Rock in Las Vegas, can you really find a better or bigger replacement than John Cena, especially when he's on his flubbing retirement tour? There's also a rumor out there that in December 2025, there will be a pay-per-view called Ruthless Aggression. And of course, on that night, do I believe John Cena will win his 70th World Championship? Yes, I do. And it will be his last match ever. If nothing else, that's just what I want to see, so now I am trying to manifest it into existence. Listen, sometimes WWE does go for the obvious booking, which is not a bad thing. It's actually pretty damn good. Number 6, Jey Uso goes crazy. I know, you don't get it, and that's perfectly fine, that's perfectly cool. But if you are tuning into WWE programming right now, 10,000 plus people on most nights, well, they really do get Jey Uso. They're in love with this guy, and so am I, and that is the whole point here. He has decided he will take on Gunther at WrestleMania 41, but I don't want WWE to fall back into some old booking habits where it's like, well, he is gonna win that belt, so now he can just lose. No, go the other way and have him win. Now, this is mostly because if we do go back to Saturday night's main event, that is when Jey Uso did get absolutely run over by Gunther, but ever since then, he's found a new lease on life. He won the Royal Rumble, so you don't need to go back to that. And in fact, if I was going to make you a graph of Jey Uso from now, heading to WrestleMania, it would just go like this because everybody wants to see him succeed, so just give the crowd what they want. It also means going into WrestleMania 41, he will feel like the biggest threat ever, and that's just going to get you in your tum-tum, because you'll be like, oh my gosh, they're actually going to do it. Jey Uso is going to be the world champion. And trust me, a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, nobody thought that was possible. I just think it will be fun, and more importantly, I think it will be different, and I'll always take different. And you cannot come up with an argument that Jey isn't the guy right now. Have you seen those crowd reactions? That's the whole point of wrestling. Emotion. I mean, the truth of the matter is that nobody is going to be totally on board because it is 2025. You're always going to get the naysayers. So let's look at the character and do the best by that. As far as I'm concerned, it's victories all the way. Number 5, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. So I admit I'm a little bit confused about this one because you could do it at the Elimination Chamber. I mean, that thing is in Toronto, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are basically Mr. Canada. It also gets me because if you had put a gun to my head a few weeks ago, I would have told you it's most definitely going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton after Randy returns, because let's not forget, he's not on TV right now because KO tried to kill him. He really should be in jail. The thing is, though, if we do Owens versus Zayn at Elimination Chamber instead of WrestleMania, you're going to have a bunch of people going, why didn't we wait until WrestleMania instead? And it also begs the question, is Randy Orton going to come back soon? I don't know. I don't have any of the details. This one really is up in the air, which is a good thing. While there are plenty of stories you can guess, other ones should be a bit of a mystery. An idea I did hear that I mostly like, though, is that when you get to the March PLE or pay-per-view, Sami Zayn does walk to the ring to take on Kevin Owens, but he is totally broken because everyone's like, Sami, you're not ready to go. He gave you a power driver, the move of death. Owens can then pick the bones as we all cry like the sad pandas that we are. And then, of course, who can make the save? Probably to a rapturous return, because we are in Canada. It would, of course, be Randy Orton. In many ways, you could even argue that would lead to a three-way. Maybe Sami Zayn is probably insulted that Randy would do this. And again, WWE does like doing these triple threat matches. I mean, last year it was quite literally Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul. There's also a small chance that you could do Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn in the Elimination Chamber, given what we did do at the Royal Rumble. But that seems miles away from what we have discussed recently. So I will say we're on the path to Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Maybe that's what WWE should do, but at the same time, bravo management, you got me before Randy Orton returns. I mean, we've jumped the gun there, but at some point on the road to WrestleMania, Randy Orton has to come back to WWE. Ain't no way he's gonna miss WrestleMania. He's a super duper whooper star. It also ties into the fact that ever since Randy returned in 2023, he has made such a big deal about how he wants to enjoy every single moment. So long as he is healthy and no one said that he isn't, I don't think he's just not going to turn up in Vegas. And also, you can put him against anybody, and everyone's going to be excited. Just to double down on what I just said, Randy Orton is the man. Of course, an option on the table is going to be Kevin Owens versus Orton in some kind of no DQ match. When you have a bunch of matches on the Saturday and a bunch of matches on the Sunday, you do need a few that have some crazy stipulations. Otherwise, they can all merge into one. It'll also be one of those rare occasions where we actually use WrestleMania to kickstart a story that's going to happen after WrestleMania. Because let's not forget, we still need that Kevin Owens, not Kevin Owens. We still need that Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes feud. And actually, I think when we do kickstart that, Randy's going to take the belt from Rhodes. It's a different video for a different day. Number 3, Charlotte Flair is a heel. And I feel like I've been taking crazy pills recently, because ever since she cut that promo on Raw after the Royal Rumble, it feels to me like Charlotte was always meant to be a heel, but people keep telling me I'm wrong. It's not the first time, so I probably am. It's totally the right move, though, because she's just so damn good at it. And everything at the moment is pointing to her accepting Tiffany Stratton's challenge and we doing that match at WrestleMania. I mean, Rhea Ripley keeps talking about her as well, but she's in knee-deep with Io Sky now. Can't see it. It's also a match that feels super duper fresh, and if Charlotte is a bad guy, she can just lean into it and tell everyone Tiffany Stratton is absolutely the babyface here, and that's good for Tiffy time, because honestly, she hasn't changed her character at all, and organically, she's just become a babyface anyway. Doing it with somebody like Flair is only going to help that, and this should become a 3-match program, and when you get to match number 3, it should be Tiffany Stratton standing tall, and by the end of that, she should feel like a top-level superstar, otherwise we ain't doing our job right. Charlotte Flair has even talked about this idea for her persona years ago on the Steve Austin podcast, where she would really be like, I have the greatest wrestler ever because of my family name, and go and listen to everything she's been saying ever since those return videos started to air. I can't believe that's not what we're doing. This makes life far easier too, so I don't even think this is some kind of pivot. I don't think WWE threw her out there and said, oh, let's see what's going to happen. She was always meant to be the villain of the piece. Let's throw her into a feud with Tiffany Stratton. Number 2, Logan Paul and John Cena. Do something. Now, again, this is the road to WrestleMania, so I'm not talking about WrestleMania itself, but given that John Cena did throw Logan Paul out of the Royal Rumble, and for a while he was like, oh, John Cena betrayed me, it just feels like something's going to happen when we get to Toronto, Canada. Now, I'm sure that is where this moment will go down in the Elimination Chamber, mostly because WWE likes views. Logan Paul will get you views. John Cena is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. Now, some people have said it should be Logan that takes John out of the Elimination Chamber so they can have a match at WrestleMania, but I'm just going to tell you it in the simplest way possible how I see that. Please don't do it, because I do not want John Cena's last WrestleMania match to be against Logan Paul. Not saying I'm right, not saying I'm wrong, that's just how I feel. I also don't want Logan to be the person to get the heat for John Cena not being able to go after his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania, because again, I want to put that on Cody Rhodes. We've already talked about it. That is way more interesting, and at some point we do have to evolve all of our characters. I mean, how the hell does Rhodes balance that in his own brain? He's going to talk about it in promos. I also do think you have the looming presence of AJ Styles, although recently on WWE TV we seem to have ventured away from this, but Logan did throw him out of the Royal Rumble. You think eventually he would want some kind of revenge. At the same time, AJ keeps bumping into Bron Breakker, so that could be our Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania 2. And I like all of those options, so do that instead. Number 1, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Because why the flub not? I've seen some people going, oh, it's so sad, we're not doing The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. And of course it is, that's a mega money match. But if this is the replacement, well, I do not think we can complain. And yes, of course, the one-on-ones will always be better, but maybe some of this is political. If you are Triple H and you're sitting in your big boy chair, you are going to be like, well, I want Roman Reigns to main event, I want CM Punk to main event, and I want Seth Rollins to main event. Well, why don't you just smash them all together? It's not like you're not going to have insane star power and go back to the angle we did at the Rumble. They have proper personal beef, so I bet when you did get the ding ding ding, they would just stare at each other, and the crowd would go wild. That's the point. You also have the fact that CM Punk and Seth Rollins hate each other, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins hate each other, and when it comes to Punk and Roman, you have Paul Heyman standing in the corner, and if the favour that CM Punk calls in has something to do with him, well, you may get one hell of a controversial finish. On that note too, I think this would be the ultimate Jeopardy match, because who wins, who loses, who takes the pin, who doesn't. This would be an absolute roller coaster. It'll get me in the tum-tum, just to double down on it, that's all I want. It also proves how stacked WWE is right now that they could present this Battle World Championship, and people will be doing the dance of joy, and sure, there'll be some negative Nancy's too, or proud. I just think if you didn't take advantage of that, you'd be totally mad. And actually, over the last 2 years, WWE has not been mad. They've mostly done exactly what they should do. So I really do hope this does happen, and again, it has all been paved out, but now we have to sit back and wait and see. Now, of course, you're going to have a bunch of WrestleMania bookings, so please do let me know in the comments below what you want to see. I'm sure I'm totally wrong, and click the video on the screen, or I'm making some more crazy predictions. You also like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Otherwise, my friends, keep enjoying wrestling, because it is there to entertain. I'll see you soon.